Across Nigeria today, security has become more than just a government responsibility. It is now a daily concern for families, for businesses and communities. From kidnapping and banditry to communal clashes and other emerging threats, many Nigerians are asking the same question: what needs to change to make our country safer? This morning on Candid Chat, we have with us Demola Dada, founder and managing director of Provisio Global Consulting, an integrated security solutions firm. Our guest has worked with the U.S. Department of State, the Department of Defense, Department of Justice, and U.S. diplomatic missions, leading initiatives in various security sector governance and crisis management across more than 20 African countries. He joins us to examine the challenges confronting our nation and, more importantly, to explore practical, sustainable solutions that can help build a safer Nigeria. Good morning and welcome to Candid Chat, Demola.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Great. So let's just get right into it. By the way, we should start calling you Balogun this morning. Balogun,
I will take that title
the list of the ladies. Yeah. That's good. Now, Demola, it's a very well-known fact that there are security challenges everywhere in the world. How would you assess the peculiar situation that we have here in Nigeria?
Okay. Thank you for having me again. I think you are right by alluding that Nigeria has, across the world, the security challenges across the world. In Nigeria, our case is persistent, but it's not deteriorating. So what we're experiencing has not gotten to the stage where we should panic and lose guard, if I'm allowed to use that word. So we do have challenges like banditry, terrorism, cyber crimes, all theft. I think the government is doing a good job managing it one by one. So you've seen reduction in all theft. There's a reduction in all theft. Right now we're dealing with kidnapping and banditry. Boko Haram, the Nigerian government has been able to degrade and almost neutralize Boko Haram. They're really not in existence. They're really losing their strength day by day. But right now we're facing banditry and we're facing kidnapping. And that's because we have a plethora of ungoverned spaces across Nigeria. So we have forest regions that are not properly governed that actually give safe harbor to these groups. So I think that the government is trying, but it's a whole of society approach, which means that in every locale, we have to start speaking up, telling local intelligence networks needs to be active. We need to start, people on the ground need to start saying when they see strangers in their community, because they don't just go to schools in Ogbomoso, they first kiss the joint. They take time to look at how vulnerable the school is, and over a period of time, they decide when they want to move. And they know that it's a political season. People are going to react, particularly with children and with nursing mothers. It's unfortunately that man was beheaded on national TV, but it's sad that we as a country, we need to start talking because we're so used to, things like that. But we as a country need to start speaking up when strangers come into our community. The earlier we speak, see something, say something, which has worked in America, the earlier we say, the better for us as a community.
Okay. All right, now let's look at the advocacy for state police. We have this advocacy going on, and then it's beginning to look like something that everyone is going in for. Do you think that establishing state polices across Nigeria will go any further in helping what the criminal state or criminality in Nigeria looks like currently?
Absolutely, I believe state police will actually be very good for Nigeria, but I also believe that state police has to be properly set up. Fundamentally, right now, we have a fractured Nigerian police system, Nigerian police force. They're undermanned, under-resourced. They need to be properly equipped before you walk down and go and create state police. You also have to create what's called institutional railguards, which means that when you create state police, you have to protect it from the political class. You have to protect it from tribal tendencies. You have to fund it. Funding is necessary, you have to train it. So in America, you also have to create, I'll use an American example, the FBI can walk into any state police and investigate them. So that oversight mechanism, accountability has to be in process. We have a system, security should be apolitical, which means that it is devoid of any political thought process, or it has to be independent of itself. And so one thing we have to do is create institutional railguards and accountability mechanisms that protects the establishment of state police. The good thing about state police is that it will create jobs. Okay. It will create local intelligence. It will create faster response. Yeah. It will also keep people safer. But without institutional railguards, without it being an apolitical political setup, we're still going to have issues. So it's a fix, but you have to fix the central, and then you now create states.
All right.
Okay, so I couldn't help but cringe when you said we are not yet at that state of emergency when it comes to our insecurity situation in Nigeria. I would not lie because with everything going on, you don't think we should be raising the red flag or in the air and all of that? Well, I like the fact that you said the police should be trained and all of that. If the National Assembly were to consider the state police right now and you were invited, what 3 provisions would you advise be added to the implementation of the state police?
I think that funding should come from the central for state police. It should come from the central because that way you take it out of the political class, the chief security officer. No disrespect to any governor of any state, but funding should come from the central. Institutional railguards, investigation to be able to stop high-handedness of the police force, of the state police, has to be from the central. Also, there has to be a periodic review. Also, I would suggest a pilot test case. So there are 36 states in Nigeria, right, across 6 political zones. I think that we should do a couple of pilots, programs that they should see and test. Fundamentally, it may be successful in Lagos because Lagos is a bubble city, right?
What about Enugu?
That's a different question. It's also a different question for a state like, Kwara State. It's different.
Okay.
It's different. So I believe that we should do a test pilot programs to see how it works. We still have what's called the luxury of time. Okay. Just to answer your first question about you raising the white flag, we're not all moving out.
Red flag.
Huh? Red flag.
Red flag.
Because in danger.
We're in danger. We're not raising the red flag. We shouldn't raise the red. It's persistent, but it's not deteriorating. So it's persistent, but it's not deteriorating.
I still don't agree.
So we're not. So I would say that the reason why I say that is because if somebody's car was vandalized right now, you still have recourse. There's still the rule of law. The police can investigate. The police still have investigative power. The police still exist. You will raise a red flag when the police is non-existent. When the police is non-existent, when there's no functional rule of law.
Or doing anything.
We can still successfully walk out of this building, go to our home, sleep in our bed, and be comfortable. But it becomes a red flag situation where you can't even sleep in your own house. That's why I say that it is not a red flag situation. It's persistent, but it's not deteriorating.
That brings me to my next question. You've worked with the Department of State.
Yes, ma'am.
Department of Justice.
Yes.
Let's look at insecurity across Africa. Let's look at Nigeria specifically. You take a walk around Abuja or Lagos, realities hit differently. The average Nigerian is afraid to travel interstate. Children are afraid to go to school. Farmers are afraid to go to the farms. What particular policy would you suggest we implement now that could restore a sense of security?
So I think for starters, we have to just looking at it from data sources, we are a country of 236 to 240 million people. If you look at our security services, a generous estimate will put them at 2 million. 2 million to 236 is impossible to manage. So I think first of all, the Nigerian government should probably look inwards and say, let's see, how do we increase the numbers across all security entities? So I'm saying military, law enforcement, DSS, NIA, whatever the security apparatus, if you combine them together, they're about 2 million. That's the data, that's the number that is ascribed to them by United. That's below the United Nations policing numbers.
Okay.
So we need to increase that. That needs to be increased. That is an urgent need. But I understand where the administration is going right now because they're trying to focus on economic growth, but they can build the plane and fly the plane at the same time.
Okay. Now, Demola, let's talk about intelligence gathering. Without it being done effectively, I doubt if we can ever come to the end of every type of crime that's happening in the country right now. Is there anything we're doing wrong when it comes to intelligence gathering? And what can we do better?
So intelligence, the way it works, is not supposed to be public, right?
Yes.
It's supposed to be behind the scenes. I think that, again, going back to the questions she asked, I think we have to first understand the government does not owe us to explain to us what was prevented.
Yes.
It is for them to know. So we as a people have to actually be part of the whole of government process and start saying things we see. We are quick, as a society, we're quick to, it's not my business, I'll keep working, I'll keep moving on. When you see something, you move on. So I think as a country, there's a whole of government approach or a whole of society approach where people have to start saying what they're seeing. Okay. Because that way then you're helping. But operationally, the Nigerian government needs to make sure there's an increased number because, again, population set, the data set for us is the population is large and the intelligence services cannot match the data set of people in this country.
Let me take a quick thing from our social media page on YouTube. So, Yemi, yes, Yemi Adeinka said, well spoken, Mr. Demola. But also, Willie Harris says, we cannot introduce state police in current climate where the federal Nigerian police is underpaid, poorly trained, and poorly equipped. What do you have to say about this?
I agree, and that's what I said, that you have to, when I first started this conversation, that you have to fix the central police. The central police right now, the numbers ranges between 371 and 770 for the Nigerian police across the entire country. That is not good. That is not good.
Okay, so I understand that state police is getting really popular, but what do we do about the trust deficit that already exists between the Nigerian citizens and the police? Because we can see that it's very easy to buy into the police's consciences and all of that. And then the video surfaced last month where bandits seem to be going in an entourage, and the police officers were waving at them more like they were friends or something. Was that normal? And what can be done to bridge the gap between the citizens and the police again?
So that video circulating was, I would say, a case of real life situation where the police were thinking of self-preservation.
Really?
Self-preservation. First of all, we don't know the number of policemen that were at that beat. There could be 6.
As a matter of fact, that particular video, the police force came to, they made the declaration on it that those were no bandits, that were members of the vigilante in those community areas working along with the police to secure that area. So that was debunked officially. No, you can have your beliefs. That's the thing with Nigeria. We expect so much. And even when something is being done, we are quick to knock it down and make it look like nothing is being done. No. And I think this strengthens the bandits and the terrorists and the kidnappers, because even the little that is being done, we would rather demarket it or not talk enough about it and give more voice to the crime and everything other thing. The voices that are talking about the crime, everything that's good, they are a lot louder than they drown out the voices that should be talking about exactly what is being done, no matter how little it is. Because when that is out there, it's a deterrent to the criminals that, look, government will get you. Do you understand? But we'd rather make so much noise about our own beliefs, what we think, our perspectives about these things, and they are not always correct.
Well, like you said, it's a reality check.
It may be, but I wanted to correct that fact, because we cannot be seen to be quoting wrongly what has been debunked publicly.
Already.
Yeah, that's an official statement.
Yes,
which
it
is
is.
also in contrast with
And here
reality
we go again
check
with you.
and a lot of
And you and a million other people on X.
exactly. I'm just
And
speaking up
that
for
is what,
Nigerians.
and that is part of
I'm
what the
just speaking up
problem
for
is.
Nigerians.
No, that is what the part of the problem is.
We
in
just
this
need to be
country.
sure.
Because nobody demarcates this nation more than our own people. And I think it makes the security issue much worse than it really
You
is.
have a
But
point
Demola,
there.
you have the floor. Please go ahead.
Facts. So like I said, whatever, I don't speak Hausa, so I did see that video, but if in a tactical operation, when you are caught up in that situation, you have to preserve yourself first. So that is what I think that situation is, whether it's bandits or whether it's the vigilante group. So I'm just speaking from experience. When you get in that kind of situation, you wave and you move on to go, so that you leave to fight another day, right? So that's that situation. But I do agree with you that nobody demarcates Nigerian and Nigerians themselves. We as a country, we're quick to cast aspersion on our own, but again, we have to, as a country, start building ourselves back up. A lot of people ask me why I moved back to Nigeria. I felt there was promise. I'm better served here than being in the U.S. government, so that's why I am back. But I feel like also that as a country, we need to start figuring out ways to solve our own problems internally.
Okay. Let's talk about the issue on ground. A lot of Nigerians are concerned about our NIN and linking your NIN to your SIM cards. We feel that this is some kind of way to track bandits, but it looks like it is not working because we're still paying, bandits. So what is the government doing wrong? How is it that even though our SIMs are NIN is linked to our SIMs, they still can't, fish out the bandits?
So technology has evolved. I don't think the government. So the NIN. First of all, let's go. The NIN. Let me address your NIN question. The NIN linking to your SIM is actually the proper thing to do. It's because if you go to the US, your social security number is your fingerprint. It's your footprint.
Right.
Anywhere you go, they will track you.
Yes.
So the NIN is Nigeria's equivalent of the social security in America.
Yes.
So I believe that the government is on the right path to doing that. What I think is also happening is that because whether ransom is being paid, things that happen is that people are able to use that money and buy hardwares that can evade normal SIMs. So you get iPhones that will operate anywhere.
Okay.
So those are harder to track, and that makes it difficult. But if you leave it to the NIN situation, it could work. But again, the ransom money probably used to buy equipments that are actually a lot stronger, more sophisticated than which the Nigerian police don't have.
Thank you very much, Demola. That's about all we can take.